What's going on, everybody? Get the Raging Rob here. There's been another school shooting, so all these people hyping up the Never Again campaign. I mean, I can't disagree with them. I mean, I don't want ever again to have another school shooting, so I kind of agree with them. And all these kids in Parkland, Florida, they're hyping up this campaign. You know, I'm on their side, but at the same time, I'm not exactly on their side. You get what I'm saying? It's confusing. I mean, I admire their work, and I admire their passion for a change, but they're kind of on the wrong side here. They're puppets of the Democratic Nazi Party. They're not helping the cause, you know. If they would actually go after, you know, those who were to blame, like the Democratic Party, the New World Order, Scott Israel, who didn't go in, and the FBI, who didn't do their job, if they would go after that, they would have my full support. But I admire their passion for change. I do really admire them. They are some brave kids down there in Parkland, Florida, and I admire their work. I really do. They're really brave. They're really, how do you say this? They're really, they have my support, but not 100%. But anyway, enough about that. There's been another campus shooting. This kind of hits to home because I grew up in Michigan. I grew up in the suburbs of Detroit, in the mean streets of Detroit, born and raised before I moved to Phoenix in 2010. Then I moved back to Arizona I moved back to Michigan for like a year. Then I moved back to Arizona for a few months, back to Michigan, back to Phoenix. I'm currently residing in Phoenix right now. But anyway, there was a school shooting. It was a college, Central Michigan University up in Mount Pleasant, which is about 2.5 hours north of Detroit, off the 127. It's about an hour and a half north of Lansing, the capital. Yeah, Mount Pleasant. If you've seen some of my other previous videos, I talk about the resistance hideout. But anyway, my resistance hideout isn't too far from there. Maybe like half an hour, 40 minutes. It's like where the up north of Michigan starts. You don't understand what up north is unless you're a Michigander. So that's about where up north, where they call it up north, where it starts. Anyway, where am I at on time? 2:41. Okay, so I gotta get this going. Anyway, they had a shooting there. Central Michigan University, Mount Pleasant. I'm really familiar with Mount Pleasant. Been there many times. They got a good casino there. I don't gamble anymore, but I used to. Back in my wicked days when I was sinning a lot. But I don't believe in gambling. I stopped doing it. I don't even play lottery. I don't believe in gambling. I don't even play bingo. I mean, I'll do Bitcoin and stocks, but I won't do casinos and when I go to Vegas, I go there for entertainment. I don't even go to the slot machines at Vegas. I don't. I just watch the shows and stuff like that. But anyway, Mount Pleasant. Oh, God, it's kind of home. This was not a mass shooting, so I don't want people to freak out and call for gun control and all that shit. But you know how liberals are. They'll use this, and this was not a false flag operation like maybe Parkland or Sandy Hoax or 9/11 or Boston bullshit. This was the real deal. This was a domestic dispute. No students at the campus were killed, but there is 2 dead. It was a domestic dispute, I think, between a student and their parents. I don't know how it was on the 4th floor at this campus. So I'm trying to understand if they're not students there and they're not employees there, it was the parents. So my guess is maybe the parents went to visit him and there was some kind of dispute and he shot his parents dead right there at the campus. The suspect is still on the large. He is described as a black man between the age of, he's about 19, black male, 19 years old, 5'10", 135 pounds. He's been identified as James Eric Davis Jr. James Eric Davis Jr. This was a domestic dispute. This was not a mass shooting. This was not a white supremacist, Donald Trump supporter, redneck, before the racist left start spewing their bullshit. So I want to make that clear. This was a black man. This was not an AR-15 Where, I don't know, maybe it was. I don't know. They didn't actually say what kind of gun it was. I think if it was an AR-15 involved, they would have come out and said it. An assault rifle was involved. Holy shit! You know? I don't know if it was a handgun shot. It was probably a shotgun or a handgun. If it was an AR-15 or assault rifle, that was one of the first things you'd probably not going to hear about it. Okay? So, I don't know what kind of gun it was. It doesn't fucking matter. Who gives a shit? But anyway, I send my condolences, thoughts, and prayers to anybody who was involved. Very tragic. This was a domestic dispute. This was not some Looney Tune that wanted to shoot up a school because he's depressed about American Idol ending last week. You know, or whatever. Or depressed about an episode of The Walking Dead and he was put on antidepressants from a fucking doctor who gets rich off making people psycho by giving them pharmaceutical drugs. So he decides he's going to kill 18 innocent people and blow his brains out. That's not the case here. This was a domestic dispute. So, I hope they catch this guy. And Michigan does not have the death penalty. Because if they did, I'd be calling for the death penalty. Had to get my coffee, just had my breakfast. Burger King, have it your way. So anyway, that's it. Yeah, man, oh man. So this Never Again campaign is bullshit and in your face, liberals. No offense. I mean, I'm not trying to, I just have to tell the truth. Some people can't handle the truth. Some people can't handle the truth. And that's the thing, They have this march for our lives. You march for your life? Back when we had the American Revolution, conservatives, gun owners, they hit the streets with their guns. They didn't march for their lives. They went to war and fought the British. And they killed for their lives. And then defended their country and kicked out the British. Learn some history. You will go down in history as the biggest bunch of jokesters when this war is over. We're in the middle of a civil war right now, and it's ridiculous. Liberal versus conservative. You have to realize what it really is. It's the right versus socialism. That's what it really is, okay? Conservative, liberal, who gives a shit? Left, right, who gives a damn? It's good versus evil. Liberals want socialism. They want a totalitarian system like North Korea, China, Cuba. That's what they want. The British tried putting that shit on us. We went to war over taxes. Over taxes. These kids nowadays, these nerds nowadays, they're going to war because they can't decide what sex they want to be. Or they get depressed because they can't color their hair green in school. I mean, this is ridiculous. That's the age we live in. Anyway, that's the news.